Hello students, welcome to today's class. So this is the last video of your chapter enemy. In the previous video we came to know how the enemy was getting better. He was having a faint color in his cheeks and how Sedao was so restless waiting for 3 nights for the assassins but in vain because the assassins didn't come. And now he wanted to decide to something else because he could not now wait for another night for the assassins to come. Hana was in very much stress. The enemy was very risky for Sedao and his position. So now he would have to take some other decision. Sedao drew his kimono around his weary body, tired body. He could not, he decided suddenly, go through another night. It was not that he cared for this young man's life. He did not want to wait for the assassins to come. The reason was not that he wanted to save the enemy's life. The reason was no, simply it was not worth the strain. Waiting for the assassins was not worth the strain, was not worth the tension because he thought they were not going to come. You are well, Sadao agreed. When the enemy said, I'm well, he said joyously. Sadao said, You are well. He lowered his voice. You are so well that I think if I put my boat on the shore tonight with food and extra clothing in it, you might be able to row to that little island not far from the coast. Sadao said, You are so well that I think that I should give you my boat and you should go to an island which is not far from the coast. So he is sending the enemy to an island in his own boat. It is so near the coast that it has not been worth fortifying. Fortifying means to protect with the help of soldiers, especially during war days. But this island was not fortified because it was so close to the country. And it was the best place for the enemy to go. Sadao could not hand him over to police now. Sadao could not wait for the assassins now. So he had come to this final solution that he would be sending him in his boat to the nearest island. He further said nobody lives on it because in storm it is submerged, drowned. But this is not the season of storm. You could live there until you saw a Korean fishing boat pass by. They pass quite near the island because the water is many fathoms deep there. So the water is not so deep there. Korean fishing boats pass by from there. You can get some Korean fishing boat and then you can go to America. So first step is to reach that island with the help of Sadao's boat. Then enemy would be waiting for some Korean boat and with that he would be going to his own country, America. The young man stared at him, slowly comprehending, understanding. Do I have to? He asked. Do I have to go to that island? I think so, said Outside gently. Of course, he would have to. He could not live in Japan. Like he was a threat for Japan, similarly, Japan was a threat for him. You understand, it's not hidden that you are here. Servants know it, now the general knows it, so he can be dead at any time, and it could be a danger for Sadao and his family too, so he would have to go. The young man nodded in perfect comprehension, so perfectly young man understood it and said simply, okay. Sadao did not see him until evening. As soon as it was dark, he had dragged the stout means fit, boat down to the shore, and in it he put food and bottled water that he had bought secretly during the day. Secretly because he has not told this thing to anyone that he was sending the enemy with his boat, in his boat. And he has also hidden this thing from Hana. He gave him bottled water, food, as well as 2 quilts he had bought at a pawn shop. Pawn shop is a shop where you can buy or sell your old things. The boat he tied to a post in the water, for the tide was high. There was no moon and he worked without a flashlight. If he would have used a flashlight, somebody could have seen him. If not any other stranger outsider, Hana could have seen him and Hana could have asked him, what are you doing with this boat? And she could be troubled knowing the fact that he was helping an enemy. So he did not want to tell this to anyone. When he came to the house, he entered as though he were just back from his work. And so Hana knew nothing. Yumi was here today, she said as she served his supper, dinner, last meal of the day. So when Sadao was enjoying his dinner, Hannah told him that Yumi came there that day. Though she was so modern, Hannah was very modern, still she did not eat with him. Still she did not eat with her husband. This line you can add in Hannah's character sketch. Yumi cried over the baby, she went on with a sigh. She misses him so. So Yumi misses the children, so she had come to meet the children. The servants will come back as soon as the foreigner is gone, Sadao said. So Sadao said that as soon as this foreigner is gone, the servants will automatically come back. He doesn't tell her that he has decided something to send enemy or else. No. He has not shared this thing with his wife. He went into the guest room that night before he went to bed himself and checked carefully the American's temperature, the state of the wound, and his heart and pulse. So now he has discussed each and everything with enemy. Even before going to sleep, he goes to enemy's room and checks how good he is at his health. Again, you can see he was such a caring man he was. That man was a risk to his family, but still he was going to check his temperature, pulse before sending him to the boat. The pulse was irregular, but that was perhaps because of excitement. The enemy was in excitement. He would have to row the boat and he would be going to his own country back. So maybe the pulse was a little bit irregular. The young man's pale lips were pressed together and his eyes burned because of nervousness. Only the scars on his neck were red, otherwise, he was getting pale due to nervousness. I realize you are saving my life again, he told Sadao. Not at all, Sadao said. It is only inconvenient to have you here any longer. Sadao said, no, please don't thank me. I'm doing this for my own sake because it's not convenient for me to have you longer here. So I'm saving my own life, he said. He had hesitated a good deal about giving the man a flashlight, but he had decided to give it to him after all. Sadao also gave him flashlight. It was a small one, his own, which he used at night when he was cold. So this was his own flashlight, but he gave this to the enemy. Although he got hesitated. So why did he feel hesitated before giving the flashlight to the enemy? The reason was that if the enemy would use the flashlight without being careful, he could be caught. That is the reason he is feeling hesitated. He gives him instructions. This para is important. Instructions are, Sadao said, if your food runs out means finishes. Before you catch a boat, he said, signal me 2 flashes. At the same instant, the sun drops over the horizon. He said, if your food is finished and you have not got the boat and you require food, then you will have to give me 2 flashes. That will be the signal. And these 2 flashes should be given when there is the time of sunset. He has chosen a particular time of getting the signals. Okay, because for the whole day he can't sit there and look at the island waiting for the signals. First thing. Second thing, if the man would give the flashlights during day, the flashlights will not be visible because of sunlight. And if the enemy gives these signals at night, then besides Sadao, many of other people would be able to see that there is someone on the island who is giving the flashlights, and a doubt will be there in everybody's mind and the enemy could be arrested. That is the reason very smartly Sadao chooses this kind of time, sunset, and he also tells him when to give how much flashlights. 2 flashlights if the food is finished. If you are all right but still there, signal me once. If he is there, he has not got any boat, then he is supposed to give 1 flashlight to Sadao daily. You will find fresh fish easy to catch, but you must eat them raw. You will get fish, but eat them raw, because a fire would be seen, and if a fire is seen, again he could be arrested. Okay, the young man breathed. He was dressed now in the Japanese clothes which Sadao had given him, and at the last moment Sadao wrapped a black cloth about his blonde head so that his identity of being American is somewhere hidden. Now, Sadao said, now you are all set. The young American, without a word, shook Sadao's hand warmly and then walked quite well across the floor and down the step into the darkness of the garden. Once, twice, Sadao saw his light flash to find his way. He used his flashlight, but that would not be suspected. Only for once or twice he had used it, so it would not be suspected. He waited until from the shore there was one more flash. Then he closed the partition. That night he slept. Now the partition was closed, assassins could not enter, and he was sure that assassins would not come. If assassins were to come, if the general was very serious about sending the assassins, he would have sent for the 3 nights. And now he was not having any kind of fear in his mind, so Sadao was able to sleep that night. You say the man escaped? The general asked faintly. Now this is the second scene where general has again got one attack. Sadao has operated on him, and when he came to senses, when he got his consciousness, he is asking the question. General asked very weakly, "You say the man escaped? The enemy has escaped?" He had been operated upon a week before, an emergency operation to which Sadao had been called in the night. For 12 hours, Sadao had not been sure the general would live or not. The gallbladder was much involved. It was a very complicated operation. Then the old man had begun to breathe deeply and to demand food. But the general, after 12 hours, came into his consciousness and demanded food. You can here also see Sadao was a very good doctor. Sadao knew that the general knew his secret of sheltering an enemy. If he wanted, he could let the general die. But again, he was such a good doctor, he was such a dutiful doctor that he saved general's life. He did his best to save general's life. Whatever be the reason, whatever be the result, that the general could hand him over to police, or could be in any mood ask him how could you let the enemy escape. But Sadao saved the general. Sadao had not been able to ask about the assassins. Sadao did not ask about the assassins. Why did you not send the murderers? So far as he knew, they had never come. The servants had returned, and Yumi had cleaned the guest room thoroughly and had burned sulfur in it to get the white man's smell out of it. Servants had come. Nobody said anything. Only the gardener was cross. Cross means angry, because he had got behind with his chrysanthemums, a kind of plant. So the growth of this plant was not up to the mark, because he had to leave this plant. He had left Sadao's house. So he was somewhere upset, otherwise everybody was normal. But after a week, Sadao felt the general was well enough to be spoken to about the prisoner. Finally, Sadao decided to talk to general. And he said, "Yes, Excellency, he escaped," Sadao now said. He coughed, signifying that he had not said all he might have said. When you say something and your cough tells that you are leaving the thing in between, you are not finishing your sentence. Same happened with Sadao. He just said yes, and he coughed, but was unwilling to disturb the general further. He did not want to disturb the general. But the old man opened his eyes suddenly. "That prisoner?" he said with some energy. "Did I not promise you I would kill him for you?" So he got very surprised. "Oh, that enemy, he has escaped. But I promised you that I would kill him for you." Means he wanted Sadao to even wait for some more nights for the murderers to come. How dangerous it could be for Sadao to rely upon this man who was not sending the murderers for so many nights. "You did, Excellency," Sadao said. Well, the old man said in a tone of amazement. "So I did. I promised, but you see, I was suffering a good deal. The truth is, I thought of nothing but myself." Here, in General's own words, you can see he has accepted that I thought of nothing but myself. He did not think of his nation. He did not think of enemy. He did not think of Sadao. He just thought of himself. And then very important line, he said, "In short, I forgot my promise to you." So how much dangerous it is on the part of general that he forgot his promise. An enemy was there in the nation and he forgot his promise. If the enemy were good, if the enemy were you can say very dangerous, he could have killed Sadau's whole family and could have also gave harm to the nation and other people. But the general, he just forgot his promise. I wondered, Your Excellency, Sadao murmured. Sadao said in a very low tone, "Oh, I wondered." I got very surprised, shocked. "It was certainly very careless of me." Again, he is accepting. "It is careless of me," the general said. "But you understand, it was not lack of patriotism." Now he is clarifying himself to Sadao. He says, "Please don't think that there is a lack of patriotism in me. But you understand, it was not lack of patriotism or dereliction of duty. I do not ignore my duty." He looked anxiously with worry at his doctor. "If the matter should come out, you would understand that, would not you? See," the general said, Sadao, "that if this matter comes out that you sheltered an enemy, please handle the matter. Do not say that I know it." General wants to come out of this matter. So if the general is saying Sadao to be shut up on this matter of enemy, then Sadao is very sure कि जनरल खुद से तो एनिमी की बात किसी को बताएगा नहीं, राइट? अगर वो बताएगा तो जनरल will also be in problem. So now this enemy matter would not be told to anyone. "Certainly, Your Excellency," Sadao said. He suddenly comprehended, understood that the general was in the palm of his hand. To be in the palm of one's hand, to be in one's control. Sadao noticed कि जनरल तो अभी मेरे ही कंट्रोल में है. And that as a consequence, as a result, he himself was perfectly safe. He was very much, you can say, tensed that general knows all this and general could take some step. But here, general himself wants this matter to be closed. So Sadao was sure that now he was all okay, he was all safe. He said, "I can swear to your loyalty, Excellency. Do not tell me that you are patriot or not. I know that you are very, very loyal to your nation." Of course, Sadao would say this thing to general, although he knows that general was not a true patriot. But Sadao could not say this thing to general. So he said, yes, I understand, sir. "And to your zeal against the enemy. I know that you are very excited about taking the steps against enemy and you were in pain. I know. So Sadao said this thing. "You are a good man," the general murmured and closed his eyes. "You will be rewarded." See, the man who sheltered an enemy will be rewarded. Why? Because he is appreciating general. So the general was a self-obsessed person. Anyone who appreciated him or anybody who helped him going in a wrong way would be rewarded. But Sadao, searching the spot of black in the twilighted sea that night, had his reward. So there was a dim light during sunset. Sadao had got his reward. How? There was no prick of light in the dusk. Usually daily he saw that light during sunset. That flashlight signal was given by the enemy that he was there on the island. But today he did not have any flashlight. No one was on the island. His prisoner was gone, safe, doubtless, for he had warned him to wait only for a Korean fishing boat. So Sadao said कि उसको अपना असली रिवॉर्ड मिल गया. Why? Because enemy Korean fishing boat में बैठ के चला गया होगा. ठीक है? So it was his real award. He stood for a moment on the veranda, gazing out to the sea from whence the young man had come that other night. And into his mind, although without reason, there came other white faces, other Americans he had known. The professor at whose house he had met Hannah, who was a dull man, and his wife had been a silly, talkative woman. In spite of her wish to be kind, she was very talkative. He remembered his old teacher of anatomy who had been so insistent on mercy with knife. He always taught them to be kind when you are having knife in your hand. And then he remembered the face of his fat and slatternly landlady. He had great difficulty in finding a place to live in America because he was a Japanese. The Americans were full of prejudice, discrimination, and it had been bitter to live in it, knowing himself their superior. This is there in America. They believe that only Americans are the superior, but whoever the foreigners go there have to face a lot of discriminations. If I talk about the modern times also, it is still there, but earlier it was very much there existed. How he had despised, hated the ignorant and dirty old woman who had at last consented, agreed to house him in her miserable home. So he started remembering all those American faces. He had once tried to be grateful to her, that landlady, because she had in his last year nursed him through influenza. Sadao had influenza, and this landlady took care of him. Sadao wanted to thank the landlady, but it was difficult, for she was no less repulsive, angry to him in her kindness. She was always like this in her angry mood. If somebody thanked her also, then also she replied in a repulsive way. Now he remembered the youth, haggard face of his prisoner, weak face of his prisoner, white and repulsive. Strange, he thought, I wonder why I could not kill him. So Sadao is still getting wondered when he is standing on the veranda and thinking, why was I unable to kill him? And he was just in this thought. So this is the chapter. See the video again, and in the next video we are going to discuss the question and answers. And now today's word. So today's new word is WHINGE, that is whinge. Whinge.
Whinge.
Whinge.
Whinge.
It's a verb used without object. Okay, to complain or to whine. Note down this word in your dictionary and write the usage too. Have a good day.